Good day, class. In this recorded lecture, I'm going to discuss the KKK and the Kartilya ng Katipunan. So first, let's have an overview about the KKK. The abbreviation KKK stands for Kataas-Taasang Kagalang-galangang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. Arguably the most important organization in history. The KKK was the only organization that envisioned to unite the Filipino nation that would create a revolutionary actions against the Spaniards and to give total independence to our country from the Spain. Though there is a lot of revolutionary groups that has occurred before the foundation of the KKK, but none of them envisioned to unite the Filipino nation revolting against the colonizers. For example, Diego Silang was known as an Ilocano who took up his arms revolt in the country. However, it was mainly concerned about his locality and referred himself as the King of Ilocos. On the other hand, the propaganda movements led by ilustrados like Marcelo H. del Pilar, Luciano Lopez Haina, and Dr. Jose Rizal did not envision to free our country from the colonizers or to separate our country from Spain, but only demand equal rights, representation, and protection against the abuse of the priors. In the conduct of their struggle, the Katipunan created an important document and a complex structures that define value system that the Katipunan must and would guide the organization as a collective aspiring for a single goal. It is one of the most important document of Katipunan that was the Kartilya ng Katipunan, which was written by Emilio Jacinto. So this document contains 14 rules that instruct the way a Katipunero should behave, and it can be classified into two groups. The first group contains the rules that will make the member as an upright individual, while the other groups contain the rules that will give the way he treats his fellow men. So now let's move to the 14 rules of the Katipunan. So first, let's have the first tenet of the Katipunan. So the first tenet of the Katipunan goes like this: the life that is not consecrated to a lofty and reasonable purpose is a tree without a shade, if not a poisonous weed. So simply, the first code of conduct tells us that we must have a purpose-driven life. We must know how to set our goals and find meaning to our life, because without knowing our purpose, we will suffer from unwanted situations. So the first tenet tells that a Katipunero must have a goal to help his countrymen and to give freedom to his country. This is the first code of conduct that a Katipunero must obey in order for him or her to achieve their goals in the organization. So let's move to the second tenet of the Katipunan. The second tenet of the Katipunan goes like this: to do good for personal gain and not for its own sake is not virtue. So this means that we must not be selfish. We must do good deed not to earn praises, but to show it with our whole heart, because a deed done for fame is not worthy to be called good. So simply, the second tenet tells that a Katipunero must have a purpose in life that is not for his own sake, but it is for the sake of the whole country, because true virtue is not about earning praises, but it must be done wholeheartedly. So that's the second tenet of the organization. So now let's proceed to the third tenet of the Katipunan. It is rational to be charitable and love one's fellow creature and to adjust one's conduct, acts, and words to what is itself reasonable. So the third tenet defined that the true act of kindness or being kind is simply seen by the service and love one gives to his or her fellow man without asking anything in return. So the third tenet only define that a true act of kindness of a Katipunero is not about fame, is not about asking something in return, but a Katipunero must do something good for the country without asking something in return, but he must do it wholeheartedly because of his love for his own country. Now let's proceed to the fourth tenet. Whether our skin be black or white, we are all born equal. Superiority in knowledge, wealth, and beauty are to be understood, but not superiority by nature. So the fourth rule highlights equality. We are all born to be equal no matter what we are. No matter what our race, status, and educational background we have. Our society may have divided us into groups, but we must all understand that no one is superior of anyone. So the fourth tenet tells that a Katipunero should look his countrymen as an equal as himself. Like a Filipino must be a Filipino, be black or white, but a Filipino must be one as a nation which is protecting its right from the other colonizer, from the other country or from the colonizer. So only the fourth tenet only highlighted that equality must be done in order for the organization to achieve their goals as whole. So now let's move to the fifth tenet. The honorable man prefers honor to personal gain. The scoundrel gain to honor. A good person, the fifth tenet is that a good person must understand that honoring oneself also means he or she values honor rather than personal interest. True honor means having a high moral standard behavior. So the fifth tenet tells that to be honorable enough, to be called honorable, you must do the things with honor, not because you want to gain honor or appreciation by others. Because a true honor means having a high moral behavior. Means you've done things on an equal way. Like you honor yourself because you are capable of honoring, but not honoring yourself because you want to be honorable to others. Now let's move to the sixth tenet. So the sixth tenet, to the honorable man, his word is sacred. So the rule 6 tells us that we must be a man of our own words. Whatever we said must be done. We must do things that we promise because you can never take back what we have been said. So walk the talk. So the sixth tenet highlight that words of a man must be done. Because a Katipunero, what must a Katipunero done is to give the country its freedom. Because that is their goal. That is a word of a Katipunero, and that word must be done in order for him to give freedom to his country and to his countrymen. So the seventh, now let's move to the seventh tenet. So the seventh tenet goes like this: do not waste thy time. Wealth can be recovered, but not time lost. So everyone must understand that the importance of time. We usually focus ourselves on worrying from different material things. This code of conduct tells us to treasure time because we can never take it back. At the end, we might end up having regretting for the things we weren't able to do. We have made use of our time wisely. So the seventh tenet highlights that time is wealth. Time must not be wasted. If you have time to do goods, you must do it If you have the time to create something to help your countrymen, you must do it. Now let's proceed to the eighth tenet of the Katipunan. Defend the oppressed and fight the oppressor before the law or in the field. We don't have the same strengths, but we can help one another. We must choose to fight for what is right, fight with the weak people who needs your help and comfort, and fight those people who keep on putting others down by oppressing them. So simply it tells us to work with one another, to work as one in order for us to succeed to our goals. We must work as one against our oppressor. Now let's proceed to the ninth tenet. The prudent man is sparing in words and faithful in keeping secrets. This highlights the importance of trust and confidentiality. A wise man is a man who thinks of what he says and keeps what is needed to be kept. So the ninth tenet talks about faithfulness, loyalty, and trust. That you must say something which is needed to be said and keep what is needed to be kept. Now let's proceed to the tenth tenet of the Katipunan. On the thorny path of life, man is the guide of woman and the children. And if the guide leads to the precipice, those whom he guides will also go there. All of us needs to be a model for everyone, because whatever they saw in us will also be followed by the people who sees us. And a true man leads his family to the right path by showing them that he is righteous. So in the Katipunan, Andres Bonifacio led his countrymen and create a revolution against the Spaniards, which lead us to a freedom that we seek for how many years. And that is a good example of how a leader lead his countrymen in order for them to succeed to their goals. So now let's proceed to the 11th tenet of the Katipunan. The 11th tenet of Katipunan, thou must not look upon woman as a mere plaything, but as a faithful companion who will share with thee the penalties of life. Her physical weakness will increase by enters in her, and she will remind thee of the mother who bore thee and reared thee. This principle is about woman, that every woman deserves to be respected, and no man shall see them as an object nor a pastime. Just like what they always say, a man who don't respect a woman didn't respect his mother, who gave him birth. Girls deserve to be loved with full respect and care. The 10th tenet simply highlighted that a man must treat women as precious as how they treat their mother. So, the 12th tenet of the Katipunan is, what thou dost not desire done unto thy wife, children, brothers, and sisters, that do not undo the wife, children, brothers, and sisters of thy neighbor. Every action that any man do is important. Every action has its own consequences. We must not do bad things against other people if we don't want other people to do bad things against us. So just like the golden rule, the 12th tenet simply tells us that if you don't want others to do something bad unto you, then you must respect them if you want to be respected. The third tenet of the Katipunan is, a man is not worth more because he is a king, because his nose is aquiline, and his color white, not because he is a priest, a servant of God, nor because of the high prerogative and he enjoys upon earth, but he is worth most, who is a man of proven and real value, who does good, keep his words, is worthy and honest, he who does not oppress nor consent to being oppressed, he who loves and cherishes in fatherland, though he be born in the wilderness, and know no tongue but his own. The 13th principle is about having the right character and good values. A man's life is not measured by what is his status in life, nor with the things that he possesses. Instead, it is in his character and his love for the native land. So the 13th then it simply highlighted that a man's character is more important than his wealth. It is more important than the things that he have. Now let's proceed to the last tenet of the Katipunan. When these rules of conduct shall be known to all, the longed-for sun of liberty shall rise brilliant over this most unhappy portion of the globe, and its rays shall diffuse everlasting joy among the confederated brethren of the same race. The lives of those who have gone before, the fatigues and well-paid sufferings will remain. If he who desire to enter the Katipunan has informed himself of all this and believes that he will able to perform what will be his duties, he may fill out the application for admission. So the last code of conduct shows the desire of Emilio Aguinaldo on how Emilio Aguinaldo want to give justice and freedom to our country. Moreover, one can analyze the values upheld in the document are equality, tolerance, freedom, and liberty. All in all, the Kartilya will reveal a more thorough understanding of the Katipunan and the significant role that it played in the revolution and in the unfolding of the Philippine history as we know it. So, that's all for today's lecture, guys. Hope you learned something. Thank you.